I don't really believe in the paranormal, to be fair to you, because I haven't experienced it.
I've never actually seen anything apart from an orb once.
I believe in things that are more unexplained that we don't know about.
Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Welcome to my world. Built with you in mind.
Thompson Holidays, built with you in mind.
I think it's the fact that I want to wake up one morning and not have to think about this issue, because that's how you live a constructive life. This is I had a ball and chain around my ankle for 20 odd years, really, trying to get it addressed once and for all with some closure.
Good morning, you're watching Sunrise. Our top story this Saturday, Jade Goody spending the weekend in a hospice as she battles to control the effects of her terminal cancer. Amid emotional scenes, the former reality TV star admitted to a hospice near her home in Essex last night. She had been suffering hallucinations caused by a medication, as Julian Drucker now reports.
After being given her a medication, she was hallucinating, so they're taking her in for the weekend to try and reset the medication so this doesn't happen again.
Where are you? Where are you? Here! Here! Where are you? Here! Here! I can't see you. It's no good. I'll have to come again. And then you might get used to me. Although that peculiar looking thing will take quite a lot of getting used to, won't it?
Life is no drag for Paul O'Grady. Find out what the King of Daytime has in store by going to digital text page 418. And let me apologise for the brief technical difficulties we had in today's programme.
To illness. I mean, what? I mean, we've got... Would we live without Churchill?
Abraham Lincoln.
Marie Curie. Charles Darwin.
Florence Nightingale.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me.
Made famous in the 80s, now ripped jeans are back.
Kendall House in Kent, a children's home run by the Church of England. Scores of girls were given massive doses of drugs, including major tranquilizers, to keep them quiet. Teresa Cooper was placed here in 1981.
It is the worst fear you can ever experience as a child, the worst fear. Because you can't stop it, nothing you can do, nothing you can say can stop it. And it is terrifying.
Over 32 months, she was given medication more than 1,240 times, cocktails of 11 different drugs, major tranquilizers, drugs to counter the side effects, antidepressants and crisis medication, Valium, diazepam up to 10 times the current recommended dose, and Sparine, another major tranquilizer.
The events that Teresa has described to us happened some
25 years ago. The girls have now grown up and tried to move on from the past. But there's disturbing new evidence that the drugs they were given here may have caused genetic damage. And this is damage that's been passed on to their own children in the form of birth defects.
There's a precedent that suggests that changes in genes and chromosomes induced by drugs may lead to birth defects or abnormalities later in life.
Politicians who, of course, have had their own troubles with documents in the past as well. There must be a certain amount of there but for the grace of God. I mean, the Home Office, the building behind you, they've had their own data leaks in the past, haven't they?
Yes, we've had all those stories about data leaked from either memory sticks or laptops, machines that had been left where they shouldn't have been. So clearly that whole data protection issue should have been very high on everybody's minds, in particular when it comes down to such very detailed, very sensitive information. And we did, of course, have the earlier incident where a minister going into Downing Street allowed documents to be seen with information about house prices. Now, of course, that's not nearly as important or as sensitive as this, but it did make the point very clearly that photographers, camera crews in Downing Street do have a very good view as people arrive with documents. The technology is now so good that digital cameras can pick up every last detail. One could argue that it was unfortunate that this particular document was on the front, was in such clear view, but obviously the decision was taken that that should never have been in that particular place anyway, and that the man holding those documents, Bob Quick, really should have been acutely aware of the dangers of this.
Happy? Good luck. It's all yours.
Go on.
What's your name?
My name's Gwyneth.
Gwyneth. And what's your age, Gwyneth?
It's very bewitching.
Very bewitching. So you're a witch?
Sort of.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, Gwyneth.
Hello, everybody. Are you having a great time? I'm talking to the ladies out here. Oh, good. Do you have trouble keeping your man at home? Well, I do. So this is what I did to him. I turned him into this. So that's him out of the way.
Simon?
Well, Gwyneth, the act was appalling.
My one and only lifetime curse, and say that you are doomed.
Don't do that! I believe in all that!
There you go.
Well, there you are. Thank you. Oh, come on.
Thanks, Gwyneth.
God.
Hey, I'll tell you something about Abba. Do you know that Abba's in the Bible? It means father. It's in the Mark, the Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 16. Abba the Father, it says. He told me that. I thought he was pulling my leg. It's right in there, A-B-B-A. Abba, Father.
Shopping on the hoof. First stop for the bull was the fruit and veg. Then a quick run through the breakfast cereal aisle. Time then for a hunt round the back storeroom. Watch the staff member on the left. She gets quite a fright when she sees the unusual customer. Then her colleague tries to help. He makes a bull barrier with a shopping trolley. Now here comes the bull. The animal had escaped from a nearby market, and soon the farmer arrived. and then left again, only to be followed by the raging bull. Remarkably, no one was injured.
Could have been such a bad luck story. Somebody could be hurt, so much damage done, everything else. To get away so lightly is unbelievable, you know. But it's not every day people can say they have fresh beef in the shop as fresh as that.
In this previously quiet supermarket in Ireland's County Mayo, this is what customer the staff will never forget. Mark Simpson, BBC News.
Good evening and welcome to Eyewitness News at 6. I'm Susan Ortega.
And I'm Evan Baxter, and here's what's making news. A potential scandal with the Buffalo PD surfaced today when the mayor...
As far as Hazel is concerned, she's a working class girl, she says what she thinks. She saying we will go into the next government with Gordon Brown leading us. She makes the point that you just inferred, that actually we all ought to be taking responsibility as ministers. We all ought to be out there. And she has a view about YouTube. Gordon will be... people will be arguing to Gordon, you've got to use this new system of communication. Actually, she's making the point, as John Prescott makes, don't forget the old system of communication.
People underestimate the benefit of good old manual labor. It's freedom in it. Some of the happiest people in the world go home smelling to high heavens at the end of the day.
Murray, what is this? How do you know my father, and how do you get my pager number?
Oh, I know quite a lot about you, Bruce. Just about everything there is to know. Everything you've ever said, or done, or thought about doing, right there in that file cabinet.
555-0123. Denied that promotion at work? Is life unfair? Is there someone less talented than you reaping all the benefits? Is your name Bruce? Then do we have the job for you? We're located at 77256 23rd Street. So come on down, or we'll just keep beeping you.
I'm done. Please. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be God. I want you to decide what's right for me. I surrender to your will.
You can't kneel down in the middle of a highway and live to talk about it, son.
But why? Why now?
Bruce, you have the divine spark. You have the gift for bringing joy and laughter to the world. I know, I created you.
Quit bragging.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the spark.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to pray, son. Go ahead. Use them.